When you see Best Cinematography on your Oscar ballot, what does that entail? How do you even decide what a good cinematographer is? Well, we've brought together 3 expert cinematographers to talk about their craft and give us some insight. So what is cinematography? What does it entail when you show up on a set and when you're preparing for a film especially? What are you worried about? What are you thinking about?
Well, I think you're telling the story visually, and you have to collaborate with, for one, the director on making sure that you're telling the story of that film and not just going and doing pretty pictures. Also collaborating with the other departments to create a look of the movie that is consistent with what the story of the film is.
Our most important thing to take care of is the atmosphere of the film.
Mm-hmm.
The story is there, the director has a vision, and then you come in with the atmosphere and the mood. What we have to create is a new world that is based on the story of the script. And we do that through light, through camera angle, where we choose to put the camera, if it is eye level, what all these cameras are, or we go low and shoot up, we go high and shoot down. All these different angles together create other three-dimensionality. And
then when you have a ballot in front of you and you have 5 movies to choose from, what do you guys look for and to make those judgments?
Well, I think consistency. One, if...
Within the film?
Within the film. If it doesn't mean every shot looks the same, but consistent in the creative form. Because if the movie isn't consistent, it means, visually, it means it's throwing you out of accepting that story. The second is the decision as far as the visual style. As I watch the movie, if I feel like I don't want to blink or take my eye off the screen, then there's something about the cinematography that's pulling me into that in concert with the story. That's where I start to now pick which films I think are the ones I want to nominate this year or choose.
I totally agree with Darren, and I was also thinking that if I'm watching a film and I'm taking away from that emotional journey of those characters, and I'm noticing the cinematography and it seems to be telling the wrong story, then I think that's a bad thing.
How do you differentiate between different sort of genres or styles of film in the context of voting for the Oscars?
I could example The Tree of Life and Hugo. These are completely opposite films. They are both masterpieces in the sense of consistency in their world. In a completely different way. Am I going to invest my emotions in Hugo? Yes, in a completely different way. Do I do it in Tree of Life? Yes, in a whole other way.
So they're both obviously great cinematographers, but then how do you decide which one you think is deserving to win?
In this case, I wouldn't. I couldn't. Very simple.
Well, okay.
Because they are both as good as one as the other. So then you throw up a coin and say, "This is it." If you really cannot find,
is it almost then? Does it come down to sort of a matter of personal taste then?
It's always a personal taste.
Yeah, I think so.
It's subjective. Yeah.
But I don't think that you should choose a category like cinematography on whether you like the movie or not.
So how do you sort of differentiate between all of these different...
If there's a couple of films that I think that are very close, I'll go and watch them again at the cinema. And with what we were talking about before, all the areas and the consistency of the cinematography, the style that works for the drama, it sets up the right atmosphere for the characters and the emotional journey that it takes you through. And I just have to work out which one, to me, does the best job.
All right, well, thank you all for taking the time out to talk with us. And now that you know a little bit more about cinematography, go to Oscar.com and fill out your My Picks game ballot, and then share your predictions with your friends.